Hey guys, it's Chloe, and I'm doing story time. It's my first story time that I've ever done. So yeah, hope you enjoy it. And yeah, okay. So this story time is about when I was in eighth grade, and it was like closer to the end of the year. And my teacher, Mr. Yerger, he was out sick, I think. And we had this teacher, and I don't really remember her. I think I had her like one time, but I don't really remember her all that much or whatever. And as soon as I walked in the class, I could tell that she didn't like me. And like, okay, so I got in the class, right, and I sat in my seat, and she was calling names or whatever, and she was like calling roll, and as soon as she said my name, I said here, and she looked at me and she gave me that face like, okay, and she was like, oh, it's you, and I was like, okay. And so I was like talking to my friend. I think it was Cody. Cody was sitting next to me. I was sitting next to my friend Cody, and we were talking, and you know, this whole gleeking thing. If you've never heard about gleeking, is when you push your tongue at the top of your, and then, anyways. So these boys were like gleeking all over my table and stuff, and so Cody and all of them were gleeking, and I got up to clean it up because it was so gross because it was all over my table and stuff. And so my phone fell out of my pocket and I had it in my hand. And the teacher comes over and she goes, "Put your phone away." And I was like, "Okay, give me 1 second because I'm like cleaning up this mess." And she goes, "Give me your phone." And I was like, "No." She's like, "Yes, give me your phone right now." And I was like, "No, you can't take my phone away. It's my property." And she's like, "Give me your phone or else you're going to the office." And I said, "Okay." So, and I sat down, right? Well, she told me to go to the office, and then she said, "Sit down." So I sat down, right? And, she comes over to me, and, like, she was talking to the class, and apparently I was talking, but I wasn't. And she comes over, and she, like, pulls me out of my seat. And she goes, "Go to the office." And I said, "Don't fucking touch me." And she said, "Go to the office." I said, "Don't touch me." And so she kept trying to like grab me and stuff. And I said, "If you fucking touch me again, I'm gonna call my dad." She said, "No, you won't." And so she touched me again, and I grabbed my phone and I called my dad, right? And I called my dad and I was like, "Dad, you need to come pick me up like right now." And he was like, "Why? What's wrong?" And I was like, "This teacher is touching me, like putting her hands on me." And this teacher tried to grab my phone out of my hand, telling me that she wasn't touching me and all this shit. And my dad was like, calm down, like, what's actually going on?" I was like, "This teacher tried to pull me out my seat and touch me and like all this stuff." And she like grabbed my phone and she was like, "Hi, Mr. Callahan. You know, um I was not touching your daughter, and I don't know what you're talking about." And I grabbed my phone. I said, "She touching me. I have freaking proof." And so I had my friend get on the phone, which is Cody, and I had him get on the phone, and he was talking to him, and he was like, "What's going on?" And Cody was like, "Well, yeah, she put her hands on your daughter. This teacher put her hands on her." And so my dad was like, "Okay, well, let me talk to my daughter." So I started talking to my dad, right? And he's like, "Okay, well, I'm coming down to the school right now." And I was like, "Okay." And then this guy, Ethan Ellinger, he was like a popular kid at my school at this time, and he like started making everyone laugh at me because I started crying because I was like, "Why are you fucking touching me?" Like, and he made everyone laugh at me, and so I was like, "If you make fucking people laugh at me, it's not gonna turn out well for you." And he was like, "What the fuck are you gonna do?" And so as I walked out of the room, because I was gonna go to the office to talk to the principal, as I walked out of the room, I hit him super hard in the back, and it like left a mark on his back. And so he was like scared of me, and he didn't talk to me. But at this time, I actually had a crush on this kid, and I don't know why I did that, but he was a fucking asshole, so, you know. And then I remember, like, his friends. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, so his friends, were. Okay, um, his friends were, like, talking to me, and, like, you know, I went to the uh I went to the office and I was like, that substitute teacher in there touched me and I am not okay with it. And my dad comes in the door and he comes up to the principal and he's like, why is your substitute hitting my daughter or touching my daughter, you know? And they were like, hold on, I don't know what's going on. And so we went to the class and we had all the all the students leave, you know. All the students left the classroom and so we were talking to a substitute teacher and she was like completely lying. She was saying like I didn't do that, I didn't touch her, and she was like, and the principal was like, do you have any like witnesses of like someone who touched you? And I brought in like 4 people I think, and these people were like, yeah, she did, she touched her, you know, and she was like completely lying and she was trying to get it up, and then somebody else came in and was like, yeah, that teacher is like super rude, and she like grabbed onto her and pulled her out of her seat for like no reason, you know. And then she was like, yeah, and when she was like giving out candy for like answering questions right, she like pulled this nasty old piece of candy out that was like expired and she gave it to me and she was like, oh, here you go. And I was like, ew, what the fuck? And so then this girl was like, yeah, well, she's putting her hands on your daughter for no reason. So, you know, and the principal was like, okay, well, this is unacceptable. So we all went into the principal's office and all the kids came back in and we had a new substitute in that class. And, so I was like freaking out at this point. I was like yelling at her and you know, I was so mad at this teacher because you don't put your hands on a student, especially when it's not okay, you know. If it's legal wherever the fuck you are, I don't care. But like it's illegal in Colorado. So we were there and like freaking straight up like she was like lying the whole time. She was like, I didn't do that, I didn't fucking touch her, blah, blah, blah. And then she started like cussing out like the principal about how he's accusing her of lying or whatever and all this stuff, and I was like, she is lying, I'm not lying about this, why would I lie about this, blah 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 blah. And like the whole time we were like yelling and stuff. And so my dad like pulled me out of the classroom, and then I'm special ed, so like I kind of, you know. And so I was like, I walked to my special ed teacher and I was like sitting in there and I was like crying and I was so mad. You know, I was like about to punch somebody, you know. And freaking she's like, oh, it's okay, it's okay. And so my dad comes in the room and he was like, well, yeah, the principal wants to talk to you, just you, you know, not any of us or anything. So I walked to the principal and he's like, exactly like what happened. And I told him, and he was like, oh, okay, I can just check the surveillance. And he checked it, and it was like actually like she actually put her hands on me, you know. And it was really, really like it made me super mad because this teacher was like lying, you know. And so you know, and she literally was like lying the whole time and I didn't know what to do, so I was like, okay, whatever. And then later, or the next day, I think it was, yeah, the next day, I got to school and the principal called me up and he was like, so we're never gonna have that substitute in District 49 ever again, so you don't have to worry about her or anything. And I was like, thank God, you know. The moral story is don't let a teacher put her hands on you, him or her. Don't ever let a teacher put their hands on you, because it's not okay, unless it's legal. But you know, here it's not. So you know, but yeah, don't ever let them do that. All right, so hope you enjoyed my story time, and I love you guys. Bye.